I'm sure by now you've probably seen Kansas defeated number one and previously undefeated Arizona on Monday night. Just an incredible showing by Kansas. They just always seem to put out a good team. Like no matter how many people they lose, no matter how the team changes with the portal or whatever, Bill Self always seems to put out a solid team. Now I know they've underachieved in years past, especially last year under Bill Self, but still, most years they're putting out a solid team that's going to pick up some really big wins. And this team just picked up probably the best win of the season by almost anybody. Definitely, one of the biggest wins in the Big 12. Um, Kansas gets it done, and there's just so much to say. And the question we want to ask here is, how good can Kansas be? How good can Kansas be? Guys, I really think that Kansas can be a national championship contender. I really believe that now. I was really slow on coming around to Kansas. The way the season started just wasn't all that impressive. They had a pretty bad loss to North Carolina, and even starting Big 12 play, they had some bad losses. I believe they even lost to West Virginia and UCF. Had a close call with TCU, but man, over the last several weeks, they have really, really played great basketball. And I'm gonna be honest, like with this Arizona game, me and Dalton were talking, and he said, Darren Peterson is out, and if you don't know, Kansas, they have an incredible player named Darren Peterson. I'll talk more about him in a second, but he was out the other night with flu-like symptoms for this game. So I said, there is absolutely no way that Kansas is winning this game. And I told Dalton I'd even pick Arizona to win this game, even if Darren Peterson was playing. And boy, was I wrong about that. Because Kansas went out there without their best player and beat the number one team in the country, who at this time was 23-0, had not lost a game, had been obliterating opponents, really handling their business all season long. I think still the best team in the country, if I'm being honest. And Kansas beat them without their best player. And I don't think we, realize just how big this was because, guys, Darren Peterson is an absolute stud. He is the number one pick in the draft without question. In my mind, easily the best player coming out of college basketball this year. If you have not watched him, you need to go watch him. I know he's been off the court a lot, and I know that there's been a lot of kind of a fuss about him being out of the court, off the court. I think some are even kind of accusing him of maybe faking some things, injuries or sicknesses or something along those lines. I don't know. What I know is that he's had some injuries and that he the other night it said that he had flu-like symptoms and was out. He's missed a lot of games, but if you have not watched this guy, you've got to go watch him. He is a star. He's going to be a stud in the NBA. He can score at all three levels. Has a incredible bounce. Just really is an awesome, awesome player. Just an incredible scorer. So no slight to Dibansa and to Cameron Boozer and all these other great freshmen. Peterson is the best freshman, and he is the best NBA prospect. And so, why I'm saying that is for Kansas to win this game without him is really, really impressive. Speaks volumes about their team, about their coach, getting them ready for this without their best player and still getting the job done. Hey, it's next man up, right? You just gotta fill in the gaps and compete. And man, they competed. And I have to say, I talked about this in a video recently. Home court advantage is so big in college basketball, and I think the best home court advantage in all of college basketball is Kansas. Allen Fieldhouse. Nothing beats that. I've never been able to be there for a game. I'd love to. I think that's like a sports, a basketball fan's dream to go watch a game at a place like that. I mean, just incredible. The fans really, really helped them in this game. But they've got some good players. Flory Badunga is a good player. Melvin Council is a really good player. And I just now realized that he is a player who played for Wagner a few years ago. They were a 16 seed in the NCAA tournament, and I was watching them play. I think they lost their first round game, but I saw him. I was like, man, that kid is good. And he has turned out really, really good. They've got some other really good players on that team. None of them are going to like wow you, except for Darren Peterson, but he wasn't on the court. So none of these are gonna like wow you, but they're still really solid players that just get the job done and play hard. They just play so hard. And man, I really think the ceiling for Kansas could be a national championship. And I know that may sound like an exaggeration, but they just took down the number one team who was 23-0, and they've been competing in every game. And I want to look at their schedule here for just a second, um, just to kind of to show you some of the games that they have won recently. It's been a great run for Kansas here. Defeated Arizona, as we just said. They defeated Texas Tech and BYU all within the last couple weeks. I mean, that's three top 25, top 15 type wins right there. Um, it's just they're kind of on a roll, and it doesn't get easier for them. They also whooped up on Iowa State, who was number five, and but they've still got Iowa State again Saturday. They've got Houston in a couple weeks on Big Monday, Arizona at Arizona again. So there's some big games here, but I think this team can be a national championship contender if Darren Peterson can get back on the court. They've already shown they can win without him. If he gets back on the court and fully healthy and is able to remain healthy, man, watch out for this team. They're gonna be dangerous. So y'all watch out for Kansas when it comes NCAA tournament time. They're probably going to be like a 3 seed, would be my guess. At the highest, a 2 seed. I don't think there's any way they get to a 1 seed at this point, but watch out for them. They can make some noise. And Bill Self is an incredible coach, national champion, winning coach, 2 times over, I believe it is. So watch out for Kansas. I think their ceiling is very, very high, and I want to see how they finish here down the stretch.